Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20ZoneTv. Late night edition after the weekend's poor performance and defeat to Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux. Before I get started, if you're new around here and you like my content, please do subscribe. It goes a long way. Please smash the like out the video. I will truly appreciate it. Let's get on to it. And we're going to talk about this man, Mr. Issa Diop. And for me, he has to. It's either now or never for Issa. For me, none of this sentimental crap and all this stuff that I'll keep seeing in regards of Craig Dawson's the better player. We've got a good quality youngster in our ranks in Issa. And he needs to be given a chance. He really does. Issa and Zuma is the way forward for me. And I really do mean that. Hello, Jazz. Hope you are well, mate. And yeah, after what I see the other day with Craig Dawson, I think enough's enough now. Like, where are we going with this with Issa? Like, at the end of the day, there's no Abonna now, so Abonna's not here, and we've got games coming up, and a lot of them. And I just don't think Craig Dawson's good enough to start game after game after game. So Issa is the man. He come here from Toulouse for about 24 million, 25 million, I think it was. He played pretty decent his first season. He was really a shining light in our season. Second season, he completely fell away. But he's still here. He's still putting in decent performances. And Zuma and Diop played in Zagreb together. So I personally look at this and I think, why are these two not together now? Right, I want to see him against up in Manchester against City. There's no two ways about it. You can't have Craig Dawson up there. If you go to a three at the back, then you're asking for trouble. What is the real issue with Issa Diop? And this is the question that needs to be asked. Is it that Moyes don't trust him? Is it that he's not good enough? Is it that he don't know how to handle the league? I don't know what it is. Right, he's been a good player for us in certain games. And yeah, Jazz says here, James, does Diop play on the right side and then Zuma plays on the preference side? I think Diop can play on the right side. Like I see something with him before, and I thought he was a good player. Jazz says someone has hacked their channel. I thought you said someone hacked my channel then, Jazz. I thought, let me know, it's my luck. From West Ham Reunited. Issa is learning, learning alongside Zuma could become a killer pairing. Zuma's out of position was a disaster. I totally agree, mate. I thought he was absolutely poor yesterday. But let me ask you this. Was Issa poor? Was Zuma poor? Or did Dawson make Zuma look poor? Because that can happen also. You can have a player who doesn't really cut it, and it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. Do you know what I mean? Correct side. So Zuma likes to play preferably preference side. Zuma prefers to play on the right, mate. If I'm honest, it was Bonner on the left, wasn't it? So yeah, Zuma's more of a right-sided player, but fucking put Issa on the left side. Do you know what I mean? I think he can do a job. Zuma has to play on the right. There's no two ways about that. He has to play on the right-hand side. Played on the left yesterday with Cresswell, and they was all over the place. Like literally, Andy was up there yesterday, and I don't know how Andy felt when he was seeing that, but he must have been cursing like I was. He says here, Dawson was as useless as a bucket with holes yesterday. Yeah, totally agree. But I see people defending him and saying, "Oh, he weren't that bad." I see on one channel, I see someone rate him a 6 out of 10, and I was like, you know what? I can't watch no more. I really can't. Because when you're rating Dawson a 6 out of 10, I gave him a 2. And that's me being generous. That's not me being harsh. It's me being real. And I look at it like this, right? Talking about Issa, going back to Issa. We've seen this geezer play in Zagreb with Zuma. I thought they played pretty damn well in Zagreb. They were on the same wavelength. They both French speaking. I don't understand the reason why Issa's not playing, and it ain't because of his ability, because he's played it. He's been here a long time, right? And how can you not? How can you judge someone when you haven't even seen him playing? You've seen him play once together, and they played pretty well and kept a clean sheet. It's very harsh on Issa, it really does. But the question that I would like to ask everyone is this. I just want to go through these comments and I'll ask this question. I agree. Hazard was supposed to concentrate on his job when he's got half an eye on Dawson. I totally agree, Shawnee G. I really do, mate. Like, Dawson was out of position. He was fouling people. He was hoofing the ball up. And there's no composure from Dawson. He's an old school, rugged defender. That's what he is. He'll win his head on balls in our box and in their box. But he can't defend properly to save his life. Baptiste can play as a left-sided centre-back. He's the one that we need to get in and around the team also. The problem is with Baptiste, and I don't not disagree with there, is how do we get him around the team and put him in the team? Like, he's going to have to play, isn't he? I thought we're just miles away, especially on the left side. It is. Jazz says, I went to the best Turkish kebab Stoke and was nice, famous for the birthplace of Beckham. Oh, fair enough, Jazz. I hope it was nice, mate. It was a Stoke 12 years ago, long ball to Ricardo Fuller. Yeah. Jazz is in the house, and there's no hearts for me tonight. I'm a bit disappointed, Jazza, but here we go. Can Flassie's play centre back? Well, he can sit on the bench. That's about it. But yeah, I just feel that Issa's got to do something. But let me ask the question to everyone in the chat: is this Issa Diop's final season at West Ham? Is this Issa Diop? Is it now or never for Issa Diop? For me personally, before all your comments come through, I believe this is the last chance for Issa this season. If he can't get in this team in front of Craig Dawson, and he can't get in this team in front of Angelo Abona, and don't get me wrong, Abona's been great, I don't think he's here next year. I think he'll be sold in the summer of 2022. And for me, it's such a crying shame because we're just not giving this geezer a chance for some reason. And I don't know why. Is it Moyes being stubborn, or is it something else? I really don't know. What is that last word there? Sliver? I don't even know what that says, Jazza. So, yeah. I put hearts in the betting stream. I know you do, mate. No worries. I don't know what that last word says, so, yeah. But let me ask you who everyone is. Is it last chance saloon for Issa? Like, Issa will be used to get another centre-back swap deal, maybe. Take care, Andy. I agree with Andy on that comment there. He says basically that it's Issa's last chance, or he's going to be using a swap deal. I don't want Issa to go, but I just don't see where he fits now. Like, if he can't get in front of Craig Dawson, and let's be honest, Craig Dawson he's a backup centre half, and that's what he is at the end of the day, which is such a shame. We've got Wally Weld. I hope you are well, mate, all the way from Philadelphia. Much love to you, mate. I think our centre back pairing of the future is Zuma and Diop. But let me ask you this then: why is he not playing? Why is it such an effort for these to play? And let's be honest, he's played some good games this year. Issa Diop played against Manchester City, played decent. He played at Manchester United, played decent. Played in Zagreb, kept a clean sheet. Genk at home. He's had one bad game-ish, and that was against Genk at Genk. Other than that, he hasn't really done a lot wrong. I love Moyes, but I am worried about perhaps overconfidence from Moyes, and he doesn't respect some of the subs. Moyes may need to change formation when needed, as an example. I agree, Jez. Stubbornness. comes into mind there, mate. Really does. I think Moyes is becoming very stubborn. You've only got to look at Alex Kral, for instance. I know this is about Issa Diop, but it goes along the team. Alex Kral can't even get in this team. And he's a new player. So, yeah, it's very... Someone said it in the comments. I will never forget what they said to me. They turned around and said to me that it's like the mafia with Moyes. Right, it takes a long time to gain his trust, but once you're in for life, and you're not getting out. Basically, Jazza says last chance saloon agreed. Playing next to another French-speaking experienced centre back who will give him all the coaching he needs. No excuses. Bang on the money, mate. Bang on. It really is, and we need to see it up in Manchester. It's important. Like, you can't go up there with Craig Dawson. If you go up there with Craig Dawson, I'll be fuming, and we will get rolled quite comfortably. You can't do it. Craig Dawson's just not good enough. Let's have a look. What are the comments? Kral is being disrespected. I totally agree with you, Jazz. Me and Jazz are on the same wavelength. To answer that question, I don't know what's going on with Kral. I've got no idea. The only thing I think personally is I think it's something to do with the contract. It has to be. There's no other excuses on that. Why is he not playing? He played more for the Czech Republic than he has for us. I know he's had COVID, but pre-COVID, this lad weren't well. Like, he should have been playing. He should have been in his team well before he caught COVID. And the way Souček's played this year, there's something going on there. I don't think Moyes fancies him himself. I really don't. Right? When you're bringing on Lanzini for Souček and things like that up at Everton, and you got a like-for-like replacement on the bench, says it all, really. Ben Johnson's the future, and he's playing ahead of Kral and taking his chance. If Diop is the future, then why can't he take his chance? The question, the answer to that question, Jazza, is he being given a chance? Because let's be honest here, right? That's a good question that you've asked there. He's played, every time he's played in the Europa League, he's played well. He scored a goal against Genk at home. He played in Zagreb with Zuma. He played against Rapid Vienna at home. He played in League Cup games and played pretty decent. Is he really getting a chance to play? Like, let's be honest. It should be a no-brainer that Issa should be in. But Dawson comes in because it's Craig Dawson. Craig Dawson's gone from our fifth choice defender, covering defender, to our first choice now, or second choice behind Zuma. So it just makes no sense to me. I hope Moyes doesn't become arrogant with all the we're not playing to our best every week despite winning. Yeah, that's a point. Moyes just trusts Dawson more than Diop, but I just don't know why. That is a good point, Wally. It is. I don't understand it either. Why? What does Moyes see in Dawson that he can't train Diop to do? Is it communication? Is it awareness? I'd like someone to answer me that in the comments section, please, because I just don't understand it. I really don't. Right? It should be a no-brainer, shouldn't it? You've got a young centre half there we pay a lot of money for, and we've got a £2.2 million covering defender in front of him. To me, that just says it all, I'm afraid. Do we have a plan B tactically? Do we even have the players to have one? Well, basically, it proves it right now. Yeah, that when you look at our team, we haven't, because we've lost a Bonner and we're all over the place defensively. And for me, the substitute bench says it all to me. When you're asking people like Yarmolenko to come on, and I ain't going to knock Vlasic, but Vlasic is coming on, right, for £33.5 million. He should be starting games. He shouldn't be as a £33.5 million sub. So that's an issue. For me, no, there ain't. There's one way of playing with West Ham, and basically we've got a starting 11, and that's it. And let's be honest, we use 14 players. We could probably name our team of Bonner, Zuma, Johnson, Cresswell, and then you got the midfield, then you got the front four. And let's be honest here, it's either going to be Lanzini or Yarmolenko or Vlasic as the subs. Do you know what I mean? Like, and Craig Dawson would be sitting on the bench. Ethan Lawrence, hope you're well, mate. Surely Kral has to start in Europe at least. For me, mate, going on back onto the Kral situation, I honestly don't know, mate. From what I've been hearing, yeah, there's something more to it. There has to be something more to this. There's no two ways about it, because this geezer has not played in 3 months. He's played a game, and he played 1 game against Manchester United in the League Cup, and he's played about 4 minutes against Genk. It just makes no sense. Like, if that is the case, and this is the case of the matter, I don't like to swear, but why the fuck did we loan Connor Coventry to Peterborough? We would have been better off keeping Connor Coventry at West Ham. Like, so to me, I just don't understand the Kral situation. I really don't. People said that he was here for Europe. He hasn't even played. He played 4 minutes in Europe. So there you go. But Diop was at fault for the goal versus Genk. Yeah, I understand that, mate. But everyone makes mistakes. So what? Like, Craig Dawson was at fault for the Newcastle game, but now he's back in the team all of a sudden. Like, I think if you was buying a player, who would you rather have, Issa Diop or Craig Dawson? Craig Dawson is your British solid defender, and Issa Diop is a French athletic lad, good in the air, good on the ground. I think Issa's okay in the air. People will criticise him for his heading ability, but if you had Zuma with him and said, well, when that ball comes, I want you to like put your nut on it, then he might become a bit better. Do you know what I mean? I just think Issa's an easy target. I really do. If Issa was a fruit, what fruit would he be? No idea, mate. No idea. Good question, though. But I want to make the point that I was really impressed with Cresswell on Saturday. The way he was zipping it into feet really turned a corner this season. I think he's been consistently great. Not for me, mate. I don't know what you was watching, Jezza. I thought his passing was all over the place on Saturday, but that's the difference of opinion, mate. I must admit, I don't think Diop is as good on the ground, to be honest. Let's be honest. If we can trust this man to play in Europe, yeah, this is our first season in Europa League, as everyone keeps telling me. We've got to qualify for the Europa League and all that, and we've got to get out of the group. If he's good enough to play in that, he should be good enough to play in the Prem, in my opinion. On Thursday, he's going to play, but who partners him? That's the $1 million question, because now we have to use either Zuma or Dawson. What I would like to see happen is on Thursday, I would like to see Zuma and Diop together. Go as a partnership, be solid as a rock, get the job done out in Vienna. And then on Sunday, it's a free hit. It's a free hit against Manchester City. Like, we've got to go up there and just think, you know what? Whatever happens now, if we get anything out of the game, it's a bonus. It really is. But for me, personally, them two have to play. Right? And I think it's a no-brainer myself. I really do. I really, really do. So yeah, like, and I look at it like this with Issa, right? People can criticise him for doing one mistake. I understand it. It was a bad mistake. But everyone makes mistakes. Bonner was poor against Brentford. But Bonner's been one of our best defenders. Zuma was poor yesterday, right? But then saying that, he's got Dawson next to him. So you need to really know where you're sort of going with it. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But with Issa, for me, I just feel that this is his last chance to learn at West Ham. It really is this season. Right? I've got a funny feeling. I don't know why, but I think Kalata-Car's on his way. I think if Kalata-Car comes in and I said Zuma. I mean Issa. Issa's got a. I think Issa will be gone next summer. I really do. Which is a shame. Do you know what I mean? I want to see him in the team, but for some reason, he just can't get in there for some reason. I think sometimes I do think it's a bit of stubbornness from Moyes. I really do. Hammerhead, hope you're well, mate. I bet we will see something weird like Kral at centre back. Do you know what, Hammerhead? You're bang on the money there because he used to be a centre half, Alex Kral. Now, if that is the case, and Alex Kral goes in at centre half, and he hasn't played 1 minute of Premier League football, or he goes at centre half against Rapid Vienna, then I'm sorry, but I think Moyes would be losing the plot. Like, I just personally, it seems like a vendetta against Issa for me, and I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? Craig Dawson didn't pull up any trees against Wolves at the weekend, but he will be playing for some strange reason. So what does Moyes need to do to find a solution? For me, it's Issa and Zuma. You put these two together. Issa's going to make mistakes. No player's perfect, but we've got to accept it that it's a work in progress. Like Issa's got to learn on the job basically with Zuma. Let's put it this way: if we go up against City and we've got Craig Dawson and Zuma at the back, we're asking for trouble because they're just too like Issa's more athletic than Dawson. Dawson's just too slow. It ain't a vendetta against Dawson. Dawson's a good player, right? But should he be a first choice player at West Ham? And the answer to that is no. He's a backup player at best, and that's what he is, and that's what his price tag is. Right? He was at Watford. He's been at West Brom. He's been at Rochdale. It is what it is, and you got £2.2 million Craig Dawson, and you got a £25 million Issa Diop. So you got to know your lane. Do you know what I mean? And how's Issa supposed to learn with Zuma? That's the question. Ethan. Against Manchester City, an athletic player like Dawson will get eaten alive. Totally agree, mate. I really do. Cresswell's pass success was 84% on Saturday. Well, I don't know who he was passing that to, mate, because every time I see him pass, he was passing it down the line. It was going to no one. Played 2 key passes as well. Kral should be good on the ball to be a centre back. I agree, but if it works, if it works, who knows? I just don't. No, you can't, mate. If that happens, what happens to Issa, in your opinion? That's the question that needs to be asked. If Issa is overtaken by a lone player whose natural position is a DM, and we bung him in there, but you know the fear I have. This is the one fear I have, that Declan Rice goes back there with Zuma. That I could see happening. I could see Declan Rice going with Zuma, Souček, and Kral going together because the Czech thing. Now, I don't think that it's a bad thing, but it just takes the element, takes Declan Rice's ability away from us. But defensively, I think we would be rock solid. But we had another Declan Rice in our team, we'd be great. But we haven't. King Vlasic completed 100% of his passes. Yeah, no comment. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. He says, yes, James. You can't say Dawson's price tag makes him a backup because by that logic, Vlasic's price tag makes him a starter. Vlasic should be a starter, though, Gaza. There's no two ways about it. Vlasic should be pushing for a start. Vlasic is nowhere near the start. He's nowhere near. Lanzini's is getting on more than Vlasic. So you've got to look at it like this. You don't go and pay £33.5 million player for a bench player, do you? Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? Not at West Ham, you don't. Like, West Ham can't afford that. You can do that with Craig Dawson. He's a £2.2 million player because that's what he is. So that's what it is. Yo, bro. Hope you're well, mate. What's your thoughts on the links of Clettercar's teammate Becca Kamara, 21-year-old solid player, maybe the replacement? Yeah, I heard about him the other day, funny enough. I was doing an American broadcast and someone brought him up in the conversation and turned around and said that we're linked with him. He's more of a DM than he is a centre half, and I don't think it's for Diop. I think it's for Kral. I don't think they rate Kral, if I'm honest. I don't think they rate him. I think West Ham have got him. They've looked at him and they've thought, you know what, he ain't all that, and they're just going to wait. Don't be surprised if they terminate his loan in January, because what it is, you've got an option to buy. I think it is. Right, it ain't an obligation to buy. So that would prove it all in January if his loan is if he's sent back. If they tear up the loan deal and send him back to Spartak, I could see that happening. But collect a car, 100%. I'd have him at West Ham, 100%. Diop is probably disgruntled and discombobulated after seeing Dawson come on as the third choice ahead of him. Yeah, it's gonna piss anyone off, isn't it? You know what I mean? And let's be honest, Diop's been here longer than all the centre halves, I think. Oh, barring obviously a Bonner. I don't know what's going on there. I really don't. If Rice drops into the centre half, maybe Kral will slot in the midfield. I can see that happening. Hammerhead, I really can. I think it's a no-brainer. I think if they go with Dawson, if Dawson gets injured, could you see Issa playing? I can't. I really can't. I just don't see it. You got a French-speaking international and a French-speaking 24-year-old, and for some reason they just don't want to put them together. For some reason, people will say, "Well, would they not like?" You got one player who's rugged and determined in Zuma, and you got more elegant in Diop. So I really don't understand it with Diop. I really don't. I don't know what he's got to do. Like, if you, whoever's in the chat, please put it in the comment section. What's Issa got to do to get in the team? That's the question that I need to ask. Like, because I don't understand what he's got to do to get in the team. I really don't. If West Ham had a team of Fabianski plus 10 Declan Rices, where do you think we'd be in the league? We would win the league, mate, 100%. We have an option in defence. We've loaded with a right back, so we could go to a back three and we could really struggle. Yeah. Moyes wouldn't do that to Rice. It would annoy Rice and ruin his progress. He would for the team, though, Jezza. He would. He really would, mate. If we have to do that, I don't think Declan Rice is going to complain until January. He's not going. I don't think he's that type of player to complain. So I don't know. I don't think I couldn't see it ruining his progress because he's class anyway. Moyes has confused us too much over the past month. It's very worrying. Well, he has. Like, he went with a back five in Genk, which completely made no sense. He played Arthur Mazuaku, who I don't want to see anywhere near the club. And is that another reason why Diop made a mistake in Genk? Because he's in the back five, and they was all over the place. Like, Arthur's nowhere to be seen. Cresswell was out of position. I'm not making excuses here, but you've got to see the facts. Diop needs to gain some muscle. He has to angry and clumsy at the moment. He still needs to grow into the big body. He's only 23. We need to hold on to him. He will come good and be unbeatable when he does. I agree, Hammerhead, but I just don't understand what he's got to do to get into the team. Like Craig Dawson and him. For me personally, I look at them and I think you'd have Issa, wouldn't you? Younger, fitter, fresher. When I look at Dawson, yeah, he's good with his nut in both boxes, but that's about it. He can't, like, I watched it yesterday against Wolves, and some of the fouls he was doing, silly fouls at that, like colliding into people, and shocking, really was. Diop cannot be trusted almost as much as Mazuaku can't. He takes too long on the ball, plays everyone inside, and doesn't hold on to the line. Not with the World Cup around the corner. Well, that's regarding Rice. Yeah, but I'll go back to this comment though, Jezza. You can't say that because Diop's played this season. Yeah, he's had done one mistake in all the games he's played. I don't think that is fair to treat him like that. For some reason, I feel Moyes just doesn't fancy Diop, and I agree with you, Ethan. I really do, mate. I think I don't understand why. He fancies him in Europe, but he don't fancy him in the Prem. And let's be honest, if you, as a West Ham fan, and if you asked 100 West Ham fans back in August, what's more important to you this year? They would have said, "Oh, we want to do well in the Europa League." So if you're going to do well in the Europa League, why are you playing one of your worst players in the Europa League? That's what I can't work out. Now, Diop's no good, right? And everyone's saying he's no good, you don't fancy him. You wouldn't play Issa Diop in the Europa League. You'd go with Dawson and Obama, because Obama was fit at the time. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe he just doesn't like him in the Prem. I don't know. Don't be surprised, and this is another thing that could happen, right? And for all the 5 people who are watching, don't be surprised if we play Kral as the right-sided centre half, Suma as the centre half, and Cresswell as the left-sided centre half, and play with wing backs in Ben Johnson and Ryan Fredericks or Mazawaku. Don't be surprised if that happens. Trust me, because that is a possibility. Kral has played right-sided in the back 3 before. Trust me, it would not surprise me in the slightest if that happened. Moyes has confused. I literally made 5 changes all season. Yeah. And even with the Vlasic situation, Vlasic should have been on the pitch a lot more than he has. And fair enough, whether you think he's been a good signing, bad signing, it is what it is at the end of the day. And Vlasic should, for the amount of money he's cost, he should be coming on and a lot more. And he should be coming on ahead of other people. But he's like, and I don't know how to say it, but he's like an afterthought. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll bring Yarmolenko on, we've got to bring Vlasic on and all. This makes no sense. When Diop gets into the team, he needs a man of the match performance to stay in. Look how much pressure's on him now, Hammerhead. But he's got to literally give out a 9 out of 10 performance. Otherwise, he's getting dropped again. You can't do that to the kid. Do you know what I mean? I can't say that about Diop, Jazza. Even Zuma had a wobbler yesterday. It's all we got, so we use them. Moyes likes experience and security. If you want security, get a doorman. I'd rather Fredericks at wing back than Mazawaku. I agree. Is there a certain number of Premier League games Kral has to play to make the loan permanent? I don't think there is. Good point, Shiny G. I must admit, and I'll get onto that right now. I believe there's something in that contract, 100%, that states about the Premier League in regards to Kral. I don't know why, but when I see it with Kral, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand why this geezer's not playing. And I'm literally screaming at it, and I'm saying it. I'm saying, why is this man not playing in the team, Kral? And it just makes no sense. It really does. We've loaned a player that we've not, and we're coming up to December, and we've not seen him once in the Premier League. It just makes no sense to me. And this is the thing that I don't like with Moyes. And someone said this a long time ago. He's very stubborn in what he does. He likes to stick to what he knows, and there's no changes, right? Thomas Souček's been arguably one of our poorest players this season. Right? What we see of him last year to what we're seeing of him now is a shadow of the man, absolute shadow of himself. How has Alex Kral not played? I just don't get that one. I really don't. And as a fan sitting there on the sidelines watching that, I'd be asking questions of, like, what's he got to do to get on the pitch? Right. Obviously, Souček and Rice have been a phenomenal pairing, but what has Kral got to do to get on the pitch? Has he got to literally bribe him to get on the pitch? I just don't understand it. I think it's the PSG and Areola deal we have to worry about. with a team like PSG. With a team like PSG, a demand is probably something stupid like 5 league games. Let's hope Fab don't get injured. No, well, talking about Areola, that is another one that is circulating on all Hammerhead while you're here, mate. And in regards with that, if that don't get done for Areola, then I'm sorry, but it's disgusting. I've seen links to Sam Johnson. Is it Neto from Barcelona, to name a few? And I'm thinking, why? Why we after a goalkeeper? We've got about 17 goalkeepers at this club, but for some strange reason, it's all gone quiet on the Areola front. It's about the wages. So I just don't understand it. Sign the geezer up. If you want to, West Ham have got to start acting like a big club. And we're a big club now, right? We've got a big ground. We've got a new investor in there. Things are looking positive at West Ham. You can't go and just ruin it by going and getting a fucking loan, a goalkeeper from Barcelona who's really not all that. When I look at Areola, he's the France's number one in the future. He will be France's number one, and he's a quality goalkeeper. Let's be honest, he really, really is. Makes no sense. Playing alongside Zuma is the best chance of reaching another level. We should be jumping on that to make him better for us, or to sell on a bigger profit. I agree, Sonny G. Right, but he's just sitting there, right? I'll give you a scenario. It's either, I believe Coletta Car's coming in January. From what I've heard from people and reliable sources, I think Coletta Car they're looking seriously at him in January. Whether or not he comes to us, I don't know, right? But they're going to go after Coletta Car. I think it's about 15 million, right? So they're going to give it a go to try and persuade him to come over here. Don't forget, Vlasic is here already, teammate for Croatia. Excuse me. So Coletta Car is going to come in. Don't be surprised if we loan Issa out, because I just don't. What would you market value give Issa right now? We bought him for 25 million. I don't even think we get 15 million for Issa Diop at the minute. That's no joke, because he plays a couple of games, but no one's going to go in there and be 25 million for Issa Diop, right? And in business, you're supposed to make a profit, and West Ham won't be making a profit. He's been in the Prem for a long time, but he's not playing in the Prem. So questions need to be asked, but I think Coletta Car is the man, really. What's happened to Fredericks? Excuse me. I honestly don't know, mate. But for me, Fredericks isn't. I don't think Fredericks will be here for much longer. I think they will be looking to move Fredericks on next summer, if not in January. Scotty Venn's in the house. We need both Areola and Sam Johnson. I believe we will let Fab go in the summer. They're offering him an extension, huh? They're offering him an extension on his contract, I'm hearing. Another year's extension. The problem that you've got to ask yourself is who's the number one next year? Is it Fab, or will Areola be number one? It's very confusing at the minute at West Ham in regards to these loans and all that. It just, to me, it's quite baffling, if I speak the honest truth. Right? You've got Areola in for the European games. Understandable. But it just makes no sense. Like, Kral's in there, he don't play. You got Vlasic in there who's getting 10 minutes, and I'm not Vlasic's biggest fan, as everyone knows. You've got Areola who's only playing one competition, if not two, with the League Cup. Fab should have been playing in certain games. Like, Fab deserves to play in the Europa League. And I would have just rotated it around. Like, obviously, but Fab's been doing well for us. I believe there's a set number of appearances, and Moyes is saving Kral for the congested fixture period so he doesn't use up his games now. Possibly, Jezza. Possibly. I agree with you on that, 100%. I really do. The only problem is with it is that if an injury, if we keep playing these players over and over and over again, and say for example Rice goes down or Souček goes down, even though Souček's been absolutely shocking, right? Then he's going to have to play anyway, right? What I can't understand is the reason why he's not getting on the pitch, and in certain games, why is he like? Mark Noble come on and started against Rapid Vienna, and it was like, what is going on here? Like, we need to win this game, and Mark Noble's coming on. Don't get me wrong, Noble's a legend, but at the end of the day, we've got Alex Kral for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Didn't Cartel tell us the same as Tarkovsky last time that he's settled where he is? I think we would be stuck in the mud again with him. Now, what it was with Car, mate, Hammerhead, is that his missus was either about to give birth or she had just given birth to a new child. And he didn't want to up and move his family, especially with COVID and everything that was going on at the time, which is understandable. He's got a missus, he's got a newborn. Does he really want to be moving his missus and family to a different country in COVID times? Because this was back in the summer. I don't blame him really. So yeah, it is what it is. Issa needs a run of games now. Zuma can play on the right. He prefers his preferred side. Issa on the and Diop on the left. His preferred side. I agree, Scott. It just makes no sense, mate. And we've been speaking about it for 40 minutes about it. I just don't see where I want to see Issa and Zuma in putting a masterclass on Thursday night and basically go from there. But don't be surprised if it's Dawson and Issa. Or if he's saying mad like Kral or something like that. Areola has a 10-game clause. We shouldn't play him the 10 in case he changes his mind and leaves. I don't know, mate. I don't know with Areola. I'll be honest with you, Shawnee G. I'm not convinced on the Areola thing because there's too many rumours coming out about goalkeepers. That to me says it all. Right. Sam Johnson is not going to come here and be a bench warmer, right? Nor is that Neto geezer from Barcelona. You know what I mean? So to me, it just makes no sense with Kral, with Areola. Sorry. Let's get the French connection going, especially with the Ben Rama having a great season. Yeah, I was gutted about Billy on Saturday. I thought he was poor, I must admit. Fab wants a year, but we've not offered him anything yet. I don't think we will. Do you think we should offer him it though? And said to him, listen, Fab, this is what it is. You're going to be second choice moving forward. We don't want to lose you to another club. We don't want you to leave. Would you stay and be a backup goalkeeper for Areola? Do you think he would accept that? Excuse me. Areola should play when we are against bigger teams like City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. I agree. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal against Manchester City in the League Cup. Top class, absolute top class. Jazza. I'm confused. Loan players not playing to save spending money in the future after an obligation following appearance numbers. Yet at the same time, when we do spend money on Vlasic, we also don't play him. Good point, mate. It's a good point. It just seems like, to me, it seems very cliquey, if I'm being truthfully honest. It seems like that these players are in the team, and that's it, you're not coming in, right, until you sort of, like, I don't know what it is. Right? I don't want to get into the Vlasic thing, but let's be honest, when you're paying that amount of money, right, you don't pay 33 points. He's the most expensive sub on our bench. Which, like, let's be honest, we can't afford to go out and pay £33.5 million for a bench warmer. It just makes no sense. For me, Lanzini comes in for 4-0 Sunday after that disgusting performance. Nathan Carrick. If you're new, sir, please do subscribe. I hope you're well. Nathan says, Kral needs to start some games because we need to see what he is all about. I don't know what's going on with him, mate. If I'm honest, I really don't. I really, I've got no idea. I don't understand it. I can't answer it. I'm very lost when it comes to the Alex Kral saga. But we will see Thursday night. If Thursday night comes and Mark Noble's in there with fucking Rice or Suchek or something like that, then I'm sorry, but I've got no idea why Connor Coventry's out on loan, and I've got no idea why Alex Kral was even here. It's been like a pointless loan basically. 4-0 shouldn't have played Saturday. Anyone would have been focused just after having a baby. Lindsay should have been in from the start. Well, I totally agree. I thought Fornells was poor-ish. I thought Ben Rama, I'm sorry, but I don't know what's going on with him. Antonio, I don't even want to speak about him because I thought he 100k jet back to London, puts in a performance like that. I thought Bowen played okay, I must admit. He's a tryer, that kid, but he's just got no end product. That's the only problem. Let's hope Pavs heads back in on the Thursday game. Ethan Lawrence, 1 year extension for second choice for me. I agree, Ethan. I really do. When it comes to Fab, Fab's got to understand that he's done great for us, but we've got to hand the baton over to someone who's better, and Ariola's a better goalkeeper. I do believe Ariola would have saved us about 3 to 4 points this season. Now, I look at the Brentford game. I look at the Manchester United home game when Ronaldo scored, and obviously the goal Brentford scored in the 90th minute. I think Ariola saves both of them. I really do. Fab would be a third choice. We want Johnson. I don't see the hype in Johnson. I really don't. I really don't. I agree. Hammerhead. Great teams always have a great keeper. Zuma and Ariola could give us the foundations for a great success. I totally agree, mate. I totally agree. I don't understand why Ariola's sitting on the bench, right? Unless he's been told beforehand, this is the situation. You're going to play in League Cup games. You're going to play in Europa League. Now, what happens? Right, let me put this to you because I'm going to wrap it up in an hour. Right, this is a quick question for everyone. Obviously, we play Thursday night. Hopefully, we get the job done in Vienna. We get to the last 16 because obviously we'll go through if we finish top last 16. Obviously, also we're going to play our full strength team there. Does Ariola start or does Fabianski start in the last 16? Because then it starts becoming serious then. What's your thoughts? Hi, mate. About Fab. 4-0's now being rested Saturday. Kral was mustered against Manchester United. I'm baffled. I agree, Hammerhead, totally. When our B team beat City, there was a false sense going around that our B team are an extension of our A team. No, firmly our B team. Yeah, I agree, Jazza. Shiny G, I'd be happy with Johnson too, but I thought of having the future French international goalkeeper fills me with hope. It really does, mate. I think he's top class, Ariola. I really do. Scotty Venn, common sense, really. Moyes should know that. Good point, Hammer here. Nicky looked pissed. Todd Galloway. What's the odds on David Moyes to United? Worth a cheeky bet? Nah, I can't see it, mate. I really can't. He got burnt by them. Highly unlikely. It's Mauricio Pochettino or Zidane. Either one may have a punt. But by no means it's the performance. Pablo's fault. You could see he was trying, but I can't imagine he slept much. Moyes should have put the team first over sentimental hopes. I totally agree, mate. And Scotty Venn says 50 to 1 for that. go back to this comment quickly before I sort of come towards the end. There's a lot of sentimental going along at the minute, mate. I think Antonio shouldn't be playing. I think Pablo Fornals wasn't there. Souček gets away with murder. It's a lot of sentimental hopes going on at the minute. Why does Johnson get around to the first team in? What does Johnson get around to the first team in a roundabout way? But when Kral decides he should look at the coaching staff, he thinks he's not okay to. I don't know, really, mate. Do you know what I mean? But let's be honest, Johnson's played well to deserve his place. He really has. I think he's been absolutely top class, Johnson. Areola is Europe is Areola. He's our better goalkeeper, so he stays. Antonio had a bifter the size of a basketball, baseball, before playing it in the showers. He to get rid of the cargo, walked back from Jamaica. Yeah, he was absolutely terrible, mate. He really was. And yeah, that's all of the comments. Now I'm going to leave it on this for the final part, last 9 minutes of the show. For me, yesterday's performance was unacceptable in my opinion. Yeah, we're still, was it third in the league or fourth in the league, wherever we are now. But you can't go around putting performances in like that. I was very, very disappointed. I was angry. I was highly charged last night. I was like, what is going on with this team? Like, we all knew that Wolves was going to be a game where we didn't know what we was going to expect. And with the games coming up, it was highly important we got something out of that game. Even if we got a draw out the game, right? You got to respect the point. But the way they played and was just, it was the old West Ham to me. Like they looked old. They looked like they couldn't be bothered. They looked slow. And let's be honest, Wolves had some international players on international duty. Cody went away. The right back, Smedo was away. I think even Jimenez was away. So I just don't understand it. I don't understand where that performance come from, because it was just nowhere. Even Rice had a poor game, and let's be honest, Declan Rice don't have poor games. So yeah. What changes would you make Sunday, Fever, if any? And would you change the formation? Yeah. The big question is, who'd you bring in? For me, if you go five at the back, you're asking for trouble. You're going to just ask for City to sit on us and just push us back, basically. And then let's be honest, if City score first, then we've got to come out. For me, if I was picking the squad, you got to go with Fab, because he's done some great saves against Wolves. I think Ben Johnson don't deserve to be dropped. I don't think he's had a bad enough game to deserve to be dropped. Zuma is Zuma, so he plays. Issa Diop has to play for me, mate. If we're going to do something out this game, Issa Diop has to come in and play. There's no excuses. Craig Dawson is a backup. That's what he is. Obviously, Cresswell will play. Souček, for me, he played, but yet again, we've got no one else, so to speak, who's better. Rice. Obviously, Pablo Fornals, people have said about he had a bit of a bad game and whatnot. If it was me, I'd go with three central midfield players: Kral, Souček, Rice. I'll take Pablo out. Yeah, and you bring him on in the sort of the last half hour. Then I'd go with Ben Rama, Bowen, and Antonio up front. It's like a three-man attack. Even though Ben Rama I thought was poor, but Lanzini and he's not a starter anymore. He's a last 30 man or last 25-minute man, and that's what he is. So that would be my team, a 4-3-3 system, and try and get some ball winners in the midfield so we can nick the ball and get it to our fast players up top. For me, our Wolves this season our Brighton bogey side of last season? No, mate, it was just on the day. Wolves were a better side, better team, up for it, wanted to win it, didn't want to lose it, and we just, let's be honest, if you watch the game from start to finish like I did, we only got going when in the last 10 minutes. You can't do that against good teams. Wolves should have won that game by 2 or more goals, and the scoreline doesn't reflect the game, in my opinion. So yeah, Todd, when you beat a top team like Liverpool, you've got to follow it up. Otherwise, you may as well lose Liverpool and beat Wolves. If you get my point, I totally agree, mate. Massive moment that was the Wolves game, especially with the fixtures coming up. We've got Manchester City, then we've got Brighton, then we've got Chelsea. That's hard. Like we've got some hard games there where we've got to literally put in some good performances. Because if we don't, we're not winning. Do you know what I mean? And that's what Todd says. There's bang on the money, absolute bang on. And that's why I was really angry and disappointed. And people will criticise me and say to me, "Oh, you're over the top and all that." But Todd, you bang on the money, mate. Like you've got to seize the moment, right? Because good teams don't go there and lose games. Right? Even if we'd have got a draw from that performance, we'd have been over the moon. So yeah, it was just very, very disappointing. Everton sat back against City and got absolutely battered. Yeah, I agree, mate. And I don't want to see that happen to us. They just allowed City to come onto them. We need some sort of counter attack kind of a way. Benrahma needs to log in a happy medium where he's doing what Moyes wants, but also having fun doing what he wants, running and taking on players. But Moyes has restricted him a bit this season. He has, mate. And it's a good point, Hammerhead. It really is, mate. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen Benrahma run at any players in the Prem for a long time. For a hell of a long time. And that is the frustrating thing. Last season, people criticised Benrahma, said, "Oh, he's not all that." He was running at people. This season, he's not running at no one. I think he's actually shit scared to lose his place. So what he's doing, he's being that sort of cautious player, so to speak, and just trying to do the simple things so he don't really make a glaring error, which is a shame, really. It really is. And yeah, that's the end of that. So yeah, in regards to Benrahma, to leave it on Benny, I feel that he just needs to be given license to do what he wants, like a free roll. Maybe going over on the left hand side is the move for me. At least when he gets the ball on the left hand side, he can take people on, like, and not be as a number 10. Because let's be honest, when he's number 10, he's running into players, and yeah, for me, it's not really good. But I don't know what's going on with Benrahma, but we see it against Genk when he runs at people. He's just decent. Do you know what I mean? So we've got to give him a bit of respect for he is what he is. Moyes had asked him to be too much of a simple player. Do you know what? Before I wrap it up, someone said it in a comments section over the weekend. Moyes is trying to get Benrahma to be a player he ain't, and that is the problem. Moyes is trying to put him into this mould of a player where he wants him to be, but he's just not that type of player, Benrahma. Benrahma's the sort of person, you give him the ball, let him turn, run. He's not even running at anyone there. Like, you run, get to near someone, and you go, right, I can't take him on, I've got to pass it. And it's always, if you was to sit there the next game when Benrahma's playing, it's always a simple pass. It's never a turn and run at people. Listen, you ain't gonna beat everyone all the time, but there might be one time you do, and you can score from it. So yeah, Ethan, games like Wolves should remind Moyes why we need a striker in January, and I agree on that comment. There's no excuses now. Strikers needed. I don't want to hear any more from any other platform turning around and saying, nah, Moyes can't find the striker he's looking for. I'm sorry, that's a lot of old bollocks, if I'm being honest. We need a striker at his club. We're a Premier League club. We haven't got one striker at this club because Mikel Antonio's right winger who's been converted. So we need to get in the real world. We need a striker at his club. There's no two ways about it. Ben Rama is a magician. We need to give him the ball as much as possible. I agree. I really do agree with you there, Scott. Beating teams better than us, then losing to lower teams is a mental thing that stands to Moyes. We come out of on fire in the second after a shit first, so Moyes has it in him. Yeah, let's go and just let go and just wind him up and let him go and type. What is it? Needs to realise that. Yeah, I agree. Benny and Jesse could have fun on the pitch together, but knowing Moyes, it'd be one or the other. Absolute spot on, the Shiny J. Absolute spot on. And that is the fear. I watched them against Arsenal last year, and I see us do one of the best performances I've seen ever for a long, long time, in my opinion. We blasted Arsenal out the ground in 30 minutes. It was 3-0 up, and it was one of the best performances I've seen. But I agree with you there. That's a great comment. I think it's one or the other. I think Pablo Fornals. I think he's a good player, but I think he needs to have more in product, especially in the final third. I think Bowen has got all the attributes to be a great player, but no end product. And Ben Rama needs to start running at people. But I agree with you. Jesse will come in, and Ben Rama will probably be on the bench. And I've noticed Antonio keeps drifting out to the wings. It's obvious that he wants to be more of a free role. Let me just answer this final question, and I'll get to it with your Shawnee G. Hold on, mate. Benny and Jesse would be laughing the ball around the players if Moyes had the balls to try it. Yeah, I agree. And this final comment here is absolutely spot on. And what done it for me yesterday with my sort of rant on Mikel Antonio, to sort of round it up, was that it's the 90th minute, we get a throw in, and our centre forward is taking the throw into the box. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on? And you got a big solid centre half, right, in the box, but where's your striker? Oh, your striker's taking the throw in, right, into the box. For me, I look at it like this. I don't want to be sort of critical of Antonio because he's been a great servant to West Ham. He scored some great goals, some memorable goals against Spurs that we all love. But Antonio is not the future. He isn't. No, he's a good player. He does a job, but there's been games before this season where, let's be honest, sending off against Southampton, he should have been sitting on the bench, not just for one game or sitting stands for one game. He should have been sitting on the bench after that. Absolute howler of a performance at Southampton, goes and gets sent off, but he's guaranteed to play because he's the only striker at the club. So Moyes needs to sort that out, I'm afraid. I know this has been about Issa, but we've gone through quite a few players, and it's been nice to speak about it. But if Mickey plays bad, you've got to call him out when he plays bad and not go, oh, you know what, it's fine. It ain't fine because, let's be honest, Manchester United just got rid of their manager, right? And that is one of the reasons why West Ham are in the top four. I know we have played well, but Man United won't play that bad now, I don't think. I think Man United will turn a corner and go, you know what, all right, it's time to kick into gear. For how much I hate Spurs, they've got a good manager. And their manager won't have it. So we've got to start using our loaf and seizing the moment. We've got a good manager, but we need some players. And January cannot come quick enough for me. It really cannot. Let me get to these final comments and I'm wrapping it up. We'll go again. 1-0 isn't embarrassing. We keep our heads up and we go bring on Vienna, bring on City. I agree, mate. And Arsenal at home, I can't think too many other times that we've played together maybe Burnley away. Yeah, Burnley away they did. And I'll tell you when they did play away, Scott. Jesse Lingard's debut, mate. The 3-1 victory. Benny, Antonio, Lingard. Bowen was on the bench, and Pablo Fornals was out with a knock. And look how that ended. Jesse Lingard's debut against Aston Villa. And on that note, and let's final comment there. On that note, I will be wrapping this up. I want to thank everyone who's been watching tonight. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate your time and to be watching my content. If you are new around here and you're just wondering what this company is talking about his boyhood club, the team he loves a lot, please give me a subscribe. It goes a long way. It helps me out greatly. Please like the video, get me out there, and get me out into the big wide world. I'll be back this week at some point doing some more content for the Rapid Vienna versus West Ham game. Big game over there. No fans. Let's hope there's no problems over there. And we will see what happens in Vienna. And then, obviously, we will move on after the game in Vienna to the game on Sunday at the Etihad against the champions. Before I go, I've got to say this. West Ham need to sort it out in the Prem. All this sentimental stuff. Players deserve to be played. And listen, at the end of the day, it's a bad day at the office, but let's not make it an habit. Let's go up to City and try and get a positive result and try and remain as positive as we can be. It's going to be tough, though. They've got some world-class players in their team. And we need to be on top form to get a positive result at that game. So, yeah. If you're new, as I say, subscribe, give us a like, and I'll be back again soon. Take care. Bye for now. All the best, and much love to you. Come on, your arms.